I was actually on a run this morning, and I just was really thinking and reflecting about how far I've come since doing everything. And I would say that, like, I would say that, my relationship is probably the most truthfully unrocky it's ever been. Maybe that's not true, but like we're just finally being true about it. Um, but just the way my headspace that I'm coming into everything is so, so different. I mean, I operated for years. I've been dealing with infidelity in my relationship since my husband and I were together, a lot of denial, gaslighting, all of that. You'd find a little thing, and then it was just like a constant. And we are 12 years in. And, even a year ago, which was kind of like the final, what brought me to this program of, like, we were doing all this therapy, and it was like I had my therapist, he had his therapist, we had couples therapy, and it was like, again, the rug like pulled from underneath me, and I was just like broken, like you're just in that same old cycle.
Mhm.
And the I feel like we're finally being honest with each other about it, but in such respect, not out of, I'm not operating out of fear. It's like, no
Mhm.
matter what happens, I genuinely I want to know the truth. Like, I can hear the truth. I'm not afraid of the truth. And I 100% know that I am going to be okay. It doesn't mean that these conversations are easy or, um, not hard at times, or I don't always say the right things,
Mhm.
but it's just such a difference to not be operating out of pure panic and fear of the truth. And um because so much has gone on, like, just with relationships that he's had within our community and whatnot, it was this, like, who am I going to run into at the grocery store? I don't feel like I have a place to walk into my kid's school without, like, someone knowing or talking, or, and it's just, I just live in such peace now. And and nothing necessarily maybe has or hasn't changed about our relationship. I think we still struggle a lot, and it may end. Maybe this will be what, finally pulls us together, but it's just such a difference to be at such peace
Mhm.
with your body, and, like, have these honest and truthful relationships that where you're not operating in panic.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's just so amazing.
Mhm. Yeah.
So even though I can't ever say I love you, because that's very hard for me, I deeply appreciate
Thank you.
a
Yeah.
lot of it. And yeah, I mean, I still have a lot to work on, but it's just sometimes you just don't even realize, and then you're like reflecting on how you're responding to things, and you're just like, wow, like, this is, how did I even live before?
Mhm.
Like, no wonder I felt sick all the time, didn't have motivation to do anything, and you know
Yeah.
couldn't find joy in life. It's just
Yeah.
crazy.
Totally. Yeah. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Do you have a
Yes.
question for
I
me?
So I didn't have a question. I just wanted to share, because I feel like
Uh,
sometimes, I'm listening on my runs right now. I've been listening to the old recordings, and sometimes it's just so helpful to hear.
mm,
You stop asking questions when you feel like things have gotten good, or like you're doing well, and sometimes it's just nice to hear
mm,
that, I'm not no pinnacle by any means. I still have a ton of work to do, but it's just like the small little things are just so helpful.
yeah. 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 It is just it's seriously like life was always here, and because of the trauma that you were holding in your body, life was just traumatic, and now that you've healed that, life is just here. Life is just hard, right?
Yeah.
You can't control, but now you're living with it. You're able to be with it instead of operating from that place of high tense and trauma. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
I love
So
that.
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. And I love you. And you don't have to say it back. And I'm glad actually that you said that today, Brittany. And I didn't plan this. Kelly, Sky, and Amber, I know you guys are newer. I didn't plan, Brittany. I didn't text
Oh,
you, hey, I'll pay you to
no.
give me your testimonial. So I mean, but it's real, it's true. And you can hear Brittany's comments throughout the time. Like she does this every once in a while, and it's amazing to hear. And so thank you, Brittany, for sharing us your growth and the trust that you put into yourself through this, and where you've come to. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I'm kind of enjoying now is like looking at, okay, so I feel like I've not mastered, but I've gotten to be pretty good with it in this area, you know, within my marital relationship. But then it's like there's other relationships or things in my life that are like, why does that still hit
Mhm.
me a certain way, but I'm okay. So it's, you know, you constantly just are going back and figuring out whether it's relationship with your kid or coworker or whatever.
Mhm. All the tools apply in all those different situations because they just had to do with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for sharing. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's awesome.